And when you're around someone who has that boyish energy, they remind you of that time when you did believe those things or feel those things. Or if you never did have that luxury and you've always had a tough life, then they give you a glimpse into a life that you wish you had. Hey guys, Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Here I am sitting in a very serious posture because I am a serious man. Now on my journey to being a serious man, have learned a very important lesson, and that's never to lose your boyish charm. I have always had a very boyish attitude, and sometimes fuckboy attitude, but definitely boy, fun and young and energetic. Now that might seem immediately arrogant and douchey. Maybe that's just a product of never losing the boyish charm. Or you might not think it's charm, you think it's just douchiness, whatever. So it probably helps that I have a boy face, a baby face, and I'll have it for probably a very long time until I get wrinkles. So it's probably added to my boyish charm. But by boyish charm, I mean a few things. One, I never lost, I wouldn't say naivete, I would say the hope of a young boy full of dreams and who thinks to see the best in people and thinks the best thing can happen. I've also never lost my desire for fun and my willingness to have fun, maybe to be silly. I never lost my willingness to be silly. And that's very evident in my earlier YouTube videos and still even now, my current YouTube videos. Although I have, as a process of my age, maybe matured a little, but honestly, I always thought it was very wise. And I say this, again, not as a product of arrogance, but as a product of, I spent a lot of time thinking, what is true? I mean, majoring in philosophy doesn't necessarily make you wise. I knew a lot of dumbass philosophy students who definitely don't deserve their degree. But I sat around and gave it the thought. And I studied people who believed that they had the correct answers. And I think that I have come to a lot of the correct answers. So I thought that I know to a certain extent, I knew the truth of a lot of things. Ways to act, ways to think, ways to feel, beliefs to believe and beliefs not to believe. And despite that, even at a young age, seeing people who are older and more mature and more serious and cross their arms like this because they're serious, they weren't so wise, but they had a serious man attitude. And my boyishness contrasted with that would sometimes land me in hot water or cold water where, people wouldn't take me seriously, and especially girls wouldn't take me seriously. But then I saw, even sometimes with very serious women, I would make them feel young again. And I would make them feel like they are a teenage girl and I'm a teenage boy, and we're in a naive but fun and energetic and hopeful path of romance and sex and fun and future. And I noticed that my relationships were much more full of life and passion and intrigue than a lot of the people I saw around me who took themselves too seriously. So I never took myself too seriously. I was full of hope, and I was always willing to risk being full of hope and being silly and just take risks in general. Because when you take yourself too seriously and you are very measured and controlled, you stop taking risks. And the problem with not taking risks anymore is you don't have anything to learn. Now, up to a certain point of wisdom, then you maybe do, what the fuck? Maybe don't have anything left to risk because you've kind of learned everything, but once you get to that point, you're probably in the woods and you have a shaved head and you are meditating. But lacking that adventurous energy and that willingness to do stupid things and act stupid and think stupid, that helped me a lot with women. And it made a lot of people like me. It made a lot of people dislike me too. But I think I'd have to say, looking at my life right now, it's had an overall net positive. Because the people who are not in my life anymore maybe took themselves too seriously and aren't any fun and also weren't wise for all of their seriousness. So there is a risk that you're not taken seriously and you're disrespected. However, the reason you should never lose your boyish charm, your hope, your energeticness, your silliness, and your riskiness is because people always want to feel that. People like good vibes. They like fun vibes. And girls love that energy. And they want to feel that way, especially in a romance. They want to fuck a man, but they want to feel around that man like they are 17 again. that they are a girl who isn't stained by the world and stained by her negative experiences and her traumas and her heartbreaks and disappointments. And when you're around someone who has that boyish energy, they remind you of that time when you did believe those things or feel those things. Or if you never did have that luxury and you've always had a tough life, then they give you a glimpse into a life that you wish you had, could have had. And when you are around someone like that, they fill you with energy. And I want you to fill those around you with that energy, men and women, but specifically in this instance, women. You are not going to lose your sexual value as long as you have your fundamentals right. If you have your sexuality, if you learn how to dress well, you learn how to get a good body, you learn how to groom yourself, you learn how to act in sexy ways. You can be very serious in conversation and talk to her and listen to her and have things to say and insights to give and experiences to give. So you can be a 65-year-old man and have a boyish energy, and you can be an 18-year-old fuckboy who's just getting his fuckboy stripes, right? He just got 5 notches on the bedpost and he's just getting started. You can be at any age and any disposition and still have boyish charm. Now, how that's going to express itself is going to be in a variety of ways. It can be in your energy. You're only as old as your energy. You can be old as fuck, but you can move your hands. You can look around with wonder and excitement at the world, and you can see the world as something interesting. It's not just a wall, it's a thing that you heard of. It's almost completely empty space, but it seems solid to you, and the study of physics fascinates you, and you wonder, what is this reality around me? And you wonder, who's that pretty girl, and what is she, what's her story? What makes her cry? What makes her smile? What makes her fucking come? What makes her wet? Who is that man? Where has he been in life? Has he fought a war? Has he ever gotten knocked out? You are curious about the world and you want to know what is around you. Think of a child. He's going around and he's feeling things and he's looking around with wonder. He hasn't yet developed his opinions on things, and in order to form those opinions, he has to search. And that requires you to have energy, and it requires you to have hope, because in order to do things, you have to have the hope that you're eventually going to learn it. And unfortunately, everyone else in this world, for the most part, doesn't feel that way, because they did feel that way at one time, but someone else shit on them. Then they get shit on, and then they see others who are full of hope and what they consider naivete, and they shit on them because they think, this is what the wise person does, and I'm gonna teach you reality, and you must be a realist, and being a realist means this is bad, and this is true, and this is false. It might be, but it is not necessarily so. Having a boyish energy doesn't make something true or false, it just makes it fun. And having a serious vibe doesn't necessarily make it true or false, it just makes it, in some cases, calm and serene, but in a lot of cases, boring and decrepit and dead. So, I want you to have a boyish energy, a fun-loving, adventurous energy. You may think you know things about life, but until you are very fucking sure, go back to being a child and keep that inner child. And allow him to play and to show it to others through your hands, in your face, in your voice, and have fun. And don't take yourself too seriously, because you're going to die. You're probably going to die again and again and again and again, up until infinity, until you're done with the game. So, if you're taking yourself too seriously, go fuck yourself. And I've seen a lot of people who see my videos and I think that they have their reasons for disagreeing with me, but I think they just don't like the attitude. And I think that they just don't like that I'm happy. But of course, if you say that to them, they're not gonna admit it. Oh, I just dislike you because I hate myself. Who the fuck's gonna actually admit that? I think I'm right, but I don't know. I'm willing to risk saying that on a YouTube video for 1 million people to see. Maybe someone makes a cringe a cringe compilation of me saying cringe compilation. Whatever. We're having fun here. And when you have that fun, people are going to be drawn to you and magnetized by you, and girls are going to be drawn to you and magnetized by you. And then, of course, if you have the sexiness and you know how to spit game and converse with them, they also want to suck your dick. But when they're sucking your dick, they're smiling. And it's possible. You can smile when you're sucking dick. I have seen it happen. It looks kind of strange, but it looks interesting too. You got a mouthful of dick, but a smile because you're having fun, because, well, that might have come out strange if I just said the sentence I was about to say. You're sucking the dick of a man, but you were enjoying the presence of a boy full of wonder and excitement and love and fun. So, be a boy and never lose that boyish charm. but also be a man and go fuck the bitches. Okay, cool. Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, follow me on Instagram. Go fuck yourself.